What up, everybody? Welcome to the IAG Thursday thing, this thing that we do every Thursday, and we've been pretty damn good about it. So give us some love in the comments and likes and whatever people do. Like, hook it up, man. Like, give us some love for doing this every week. We need more comments, by the way, especially on Spotify. Do us a favor, like, share, comment. Comments on Spotify actually go a really long way. So give us some love. We'd appreciate it. Warranty ain't gonna be here this week. He's doing other things, but that's fine. Because we got an awesome guest, and we'll get to that in a second. Producer Jordan, can't thank you enough for doing the stuff in the background. And Randy, even though he is on vacation right now, also threw together the thumbnail. We appreciate you too, Randy. So yeah. Real quick, next week is Wicked Big Meat. Actually, this coming weekend, as of recording this will probably be out after Wicked Big Meat. So if you see us at Wicked Big Meat, say hi. We're bringing Boogie and whatever, and it's going to be a good time. And then by the time you listen to this, we're probably going to be sitting in the at Gingerman. It will probably be practice day, and we will go from there to see how that works out. We may or may not do a show at the track. I like doing shows at the track, but it's finding time to do it has been a real pain in the ass. But I'll do my best. But if we don't have one next week, it's because we've got a lot going on. This week, it's a show I've actually been wanting to do for a while. I'm pretty hyped to have him on. My best good buddy, Jerami effing Bailey. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Lagging behind, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Look, time zones are fucking confusing, all right?
I mean, I do what I do. I got off work and was like bebopping around, went to Best Buy, put it in. As soon as I was pulling in the house, you're like, hey, man, so we doing this? Or I got time.
Yep.
No, it's now. Well, dang.
And then you did the math in your head again and went, shit, I'm 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
I'm not 2 hours early. I'm 5 minutes late.
What a butthole.
Oh, no big deal. It's all right. Yes, there's going to be a K24 chat, Mr. Evan McLaren. I knew we were going to get the Gridlife peeps in here to have this conversation. So this was going to be a good one. But long story short, let's talk about your background a little bit. You compete in the Gridlife Club TR class with your BRZ that has been swapped to an FA24. So you have a first gen BRZ swapped to an FA24. And I mean, you had some pretty decent results a couple weeks ago at Road Atlanta. How'd that go?
Yeah, no, really good. And I come off a CMP kind of upset how the car behaved. I guess I didn't do enough testing, so I went and tested. You come down and helped out with that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And we had a good time.
And then I think the testing proved at Road Atlanta that was very helpful.
Well, I think we learned some stuff there, and it actually got my brain working when we went and messed around with your car, that you get used to working around issues that you don't even realize are issues. Yeah. You know, you're just like, well, that's just what the car does. You know? And then you stick somebody else in the car, they're like, why does it do this? It doesn't have to do this. Like, I got to be real. When I first hopped in that car at Corvette Museum for that test day that you had me come up for, it was fucking terrifying. I can't believe you ran the time you ran at CMP with the car acting that way. That is nuts.
Yeah, well, you get, like you said, you get used to stuff.
Sure.
You don't even realize it's a thing anymore.
And maybe
and it's like strange how that works, but yeah.
Maybe like a Tom O'Gorman or something could have hopped in the car as it was acting then, and he would have been like, this is amazing, don't touch anything. But for me, and I think it ended up being for you too, like the car needed stability, and it just didn't have it.
No, yeah, they're probably like, Luce, this is great. The loosest car ever. It's so
Yes.
awesome. And we're like, no, we're dying. I need rails. I want it on rails.
I just
Please
stick.
give me rails back.
Just stick. I just want to get on the gas really damn early. And you just couldn't with that car the way it was. So either way, I mean, you didn't have like an awful showing at CMP, but you ended up coming out of that with what, 4th or 3rd?
Default 4th because one of the cars that made it didn't start.
Yeah.
In podium sprint, something like that. So that just defaulted.
Yeah. So you ended up with a 4th.
But the disappointing part, it was 4th by like a second and a half. So like,
yeah,
it wasn't even competitive. Like I would have been all right with 4th if it was normal Club TR. Everybody in the top 45 positions is off by a 1/10 of a hair of a something.
Yep.
But nah, a second and a half off or something like that just wasn't. I was mad about it.
Yeah, I could tell you were sour.
Oh yeah, I was big sour.
Yeah, your wife wasn't happy either.
Yeah, well, she's never happy. What can we do?
That's true. So you scheduled a test day. We went and you and I basically just turned knobs and messed with crap. And I think the big thing that helped the most is the rear sway bar totally unhooked still.
Yeah, it's still back there, but it's not hooked up.
Yeah, that was night and day difference. Just unhooked the rear sway bar and the car immediately started chilling out under braking. You could get on the gas earlier, and it just there's so much time there.
And you were already seeing it after a day of me and Miles speaking back and forth and making adjustments. I had already got it. The sway bar had been set to the softer setting, I think, and then we were turning knobs, and I'd got it to a point where I was like, man, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm like, I immediately hopped in the car and I'm like, this ain't it. Unhook that bastard right now. We're making a big swing.
I'm over here like, I don't know, man. It feels pretty good to me. I guess I'll unhook it. Well, it's testing anyway. Like, nope, that was it. That was perfect. Then I think we run a couple more sessions messing with another couple knobs, speaking with Miles.
Yep.
And I think we went out one time and you were driving, you went out, ran a lap or two, come in, we turn a thing, run another lap or two, turn a thing, run another lap. You know, we did that for a session once.
Yep. And then
go until it was right.
You went out and we basically ran identical times in the car. Like it was dead on and
yeah,
you know, it was the car was night and day after that. It's so much better. So you went to Road Atlanta. And man, your Road Atlanta story is wild because like you went there and I think you were kind of perpetually 3rd place in a ways back. Like, and then out of nowhere, it felt like you found a freaking heap of time.
Yeah, I found new tires.
Yeah, I mean, that helps.
These RT660s are nutty how fast they fall off from competitive times.
Yeah.
Like I put a new set. I look, I knew I don't ever run fast right out of the gate.
No. I
work my way up to speed. Maybe I'm different that way. I don't know, but I'm never going to be fast right out of the door. So that's all Saturday, whatever day it was, Friday. That's all Friday was me just trying to get faster and push the car. It's not like the tires are bad. They're just not competitive fast. They're still good tires.
Yep. They're fine for ripping laps. And honestly, even like GLTC guys, they're still really competitive with that because they still go deep into a session. It's just that wonder lap. What would you say your first like maybe 3 heat cycles of that tire are really good, and then past that they kind of fall off?
First session, then it's over. First session, and then your
sticker magic is a thing, folks.
Yeah, it sucks to be that way, and it makes buying tires expensive if you're trying to compete.
Absolutely.
But yeah, first session is a hot session. That's it. That's all you get.
I wonder, we've got Evan McLaren, who is one of your direct competitors, is in the chat right now, and he drives a Integra. I'm interested to see if he gets the same vibe, if it's like a sticker magic thing.
Yeah.
He just said he wasted his magic session with a tank slapper. Well, there you go. And once they're gone, they're gone.
So Saturday was me getting better at the track and not really knowing if I needed to use good tires or not.
Yeah.
And then it was supposed to rain Sunday, and then, or no, Friday and Saturday. Sunday wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to rain. We watched the weather all night. It was kind of like turning into the year before again, where the second day wasn't even going to be worth anything. So I was all bummed, and we went to bed. Woke up in the morning, everything felt right. I walked outside of the door, and the temperature was right. Like, I'm barefoot because that's what I do. And the ground felt good, and I come outside expecting, well, I guess that's just it. When 3 seconds into feeling the morning, I'm like, new tires are going on. We're doing this. And Miles called me and had a little chat with me, a little pep talk. And I don't know, we went out there and it did the thing.
I mean, so you went out there and laid a absolutely spectacular time. You laid a time down that put you in first place, and like that was just about when I was gonna roll out onto the track for my session. So Dylan was telling me, he's like, yo, I'm gonna go, get him hyped because he just got into first place. And then like the next lap, you ended up finding like another half second or something. So you found a ton of time. And then there was a bunch of drama of like they immediately came over and started looking around your car, and I guess there was a airbag bracket or something that you didn't have in there, and they were trying to protest saying it was structural even though it wasn't, and yada yada yada, whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But
haters gonna hate.
Yeah, haters gonna hate, and it is what it is. But then the next session, that's when the rest of the Club TR guys, well, at least Peter and Evan, both were like, nah, we're doing this. And they both ended up tying less than 1/10 behind you.
Did they tie on the second? Was it Pete tied Evan or Evan tied Pete?
I think it was Pete tied Evan.
Second session?
No, it was Evan tied Pete. It was Evan tied Pete. Yeah, Evan tied Pete. So, basically, Pete ran that time, and then Evan ended up later running the exact down to 3 decimal places time, and so they gave him both second place. In my opinion, and this is nothing against Evan, and I love you, buddy, even though you were in the chat. The person who ran the time first, this should be implemented, should get the place. It should be the one who ran it before the other one, in my opinion, because I have a feeling this is going to have points implications later.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think there needs to be a 2-3 trophy or something, or 1-2 and a 2-3 trophy or something like that.
I don't know.
In the middle, glued together, and give that to the guys.
They just glue them together. Like, here you go.
But I mean, that just shows you how crazy. I mean, I think my time was a
Evan. He's flipping me off in the chat. That's
100th different than Pete and Evans. Like, I was just 100th faster than them.
It was a 10th.
So,
it was less than a 10th. It was a few
10th?
hundreds. It was less than a 10th.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that was nuts. But that's just where TR is. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's unreal how that just this class, how wildly competitive it is. But
0.046 was the difference. Somebody just said.
Well, there you
between
go.
Me and second.
That's half a 10th. Less than half a 10th. That's nuts. 4.61 hundredths of a second. And again, Evan and Pete tied down to the 1,000th.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's insane. Like, that's it. Somebody plucked 2 extra hairs out of their nuts, and that is the time difference that is. So
where did third place end up? Does somebody post the time for third place? Was it within a 10th or something too?
Technically that'd be 4th because first and second and third together, so it'd be 4th place. I don't know. Mario was a second back. Okay, which again, that's actually still pretty tight.
Yeah, for street mod or
in any other class, that's pretty tight for a time attack class to have, the top 4, within 1 second. That's nuts.
That's crazy.
But to have the top 3 within a half a second is, or within half a tenth.
Less than half a second.
Half a tenth is insanity. So anybody who's also trying to say that the class isn't balanced, I don't agree with that either. And that is kind of like some of what I want to talk about today too. Is, I mean, we're pretty pro Subaru podcast around here, if you guys haven't figured that out. You don't need a K series to compete.
Not to say that K isn't a pretty solid answer.
It's a viable option. I'm not saying it's not, and Pete's done pretty damn well with his. Not trying to take it away. What I am trying to say is a FA24 is also a viable option. And it is, it just is. It is an easier swap than a K. It's
and cheaper.
And cheaper. And it can be done. And you can pick up a first gen B or Z or FRS for cheap, real cheap, and stick an FA24 in it.
Poking at the K swap guys, it's more reliable.
Oh man, here comes the K swap guys too. We got Evan out there in his Integra, but Dana's in here too. Oh, it's all the K swap people. Dana did his swap before his K swap before like everybody. He's the OG.
He did it before it was cool.
Way before it was cool. Before there was even kits that existed for it. Evan, you've had good luck. Yeah, well, I mean, it's all.
You didn't hear me say it's more reliable.
Yeah. It has been for you. It's really funny when like I'm not hearing the whole reliability thing anymore. I'm not. I can run my K till the forever and it won't die. Like they die at about the same rate. Now, what I will say is a replacement K is going to be cheaper than a replacement FA24, but the swap to put that engine in there originally is double, if not more, than an FA24.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, you've done the math. You see how, like...
Yeah, no, I mean, it is.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, FA24 is way cheaper to put in than K.
Way cheaper, because it's basically just replacing the stock.
Everything bolts in. I don't have to cut, I don't know, subframe stuff up to make things fit.
Nope, because it's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's basically the same thing. Just slightly bigger somewhere.
Yep. Evan, my engine was raced 2 years before I bought it in 2022. I mean, that's cool. I'm happy for you. Dana, Andy's stock FA24 car makes more than my stock K24 car also. And that's something that we have seen. And what the FA24 also does a little better is it makes the same power at a lower RPM, so it is actually making more torque. So there's that also. Then again, there's some advantages to stretching the revs as far as gearing goes too. So Dana's saying 12 horsepower more. I mean, that some of that could be Subaru's always had issues with you ever heard of the term casting shift? I'm sure you have, because you've worked in all sorts of industrial crap.
Oh, yeah, where casting just changes over time.
Yeah, so the more it tends to be in engines that have been in production for longer or whatever, and they're using that same casting. But long story short, you're going to have a cast, okay, the original cast for an engine, and then then they take that cast and then they go and machine it all out so it all makes sense. And we tend to see this, we see it a lot in EJs, but basically like the ports for the intake and the exhaust won't exactly line up with the machining for like the combustion chambers and where the valves come through. They'll be slightly offset. And that little bit can make a massive difference. And Subarus, for whatever reason, we've seen some pretty wild casting shift in OEM heads from all various generations. It's one of the reasons that I'm really big in EJs selling like a set of IAG 750 heads versus 550 heads, because we go through and do a pocket port, which basically cleans any of that might happen up. But it's why
Sure.
in some situations you'll have one engine that'll make 10 more horsepower than another engine. And there's really no explanation. Some people are like, well, maybe it was broken better, which maybe there's something to that. But there's the amount of casting shift is actually wild. And it can really
get a lot of tolerances that are acceptable too. On pistons, manufacturer might say this piston should be 3 inches plus or minus whatever. So you might end up with slightly larger pistons or slightly smaller pistons or slightly longer crank or crank rods or shorter rods or longer rods, stuff like that.
Yep, absolutely. Dana's now complaining about the 150-pound weight advantage they gave you this year, which I don't disagree on. But the reason that you're getting that over, say, an FA or a K series is the K series, and one of its biggest advantages is it is significantly lighter. So I don't know. I think that's a wash personally.
I don't know. The horsepower difference has always been the FA24 is less than the K, but all of a sudden after I win, it's changed.
Ooh. I think they're actually really close, and Graham has seen this too. They're close-ish. The K tends to make power up top better, and the FA tends to make a little more torque.
I mean, one thing I guess we can say is in the past, the Ks have absolutely pulled on me in any kind of straight, and we run into an issue where I made a oops. And we drag race down the back straight at Roland, and there was neither one of us were pulling on either of us.
Yep.
So the weight penalty seemed to have evened out that pull.
You also you made oops. Didn't you install an intake without like really looking into how that was gonna work? And
they at CMP?
Yeah, like I don't think that helped you either. I don't.
I don't want to say what it is.
No, don't. You don't got to say the name. You made a change without really testing it. Yeah.
Super pretty. Threw it on the car and was heat soaking. Like right at a gate. But you could touch the intake and it dang near burn you. So I was like, well, as pretty as it is, I can't run this.
Yep.
Then I had already done enough damage to the way I ducked air that just didn't come back. So that was some of my problem at CMP too.
Yeah, that didn't help you at all.
Did do some testing when I went up there to Corvette Museum to test with the way I have my intake, and what I developed was like 2 miles an hour faster on a straight with just intake piping or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much, but yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, don't go digging too much into that, because it's not something like, we're not trying to have brands mad at brands and all that. We're not trying to do that. So so that's kind of been your recent stuff, but dude, you and I met a long time ago. You and I are OG Marine Corps buddies.
That's right.
I showed up at 8th Com Battalion in what was that? 2001? It was before the first Fast and the Furious movie release, because neither you or I had seen it yet. It was before Gran Turismo 3 released. So, and
good day.
Yeah, you were living in a trailer, and I was living it because you were married at the time, and I was living in the barracks, and it was awful. And you're like, dude, just live in my back room that I'm not using right now. And I'm like, sweet. So that's how you and I like met and became homies and started doing car things. And I think we went and saw the first Fast and the Furious together. We went and I remember we got Gran Turismo 3 during lunch.
That was a good one.
That was, and then we neither of our significant others saw us for like a month after we got that.
Oh, what else? What was there was another race game that we played before that. It was what was it? Need for Speed Underground.
Oh, we played the shit out of that, but I think that came after.
Was it? I don't know. Whatever. That occupied a lot of time.
That occupied a lot of time. Do you remember? We also played an absolute ton of Initial D in the arcade.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I got that card. I still got my card
I
somewhere.
still got a card somewhere too.
Yeah.
I probably got $2,000 into that card.
I'm old. I got a box of memories, and then that box of memories is a couple of Initial D cards.
Yeah, we had some good times.
Every once in a while, we'll be moving shit around, and I'll find it, and I'll be like, "Oh, look at this."
Yep. Our Initial D arcade machine at this mall was really it was kind of a community meeting ground. It
was really neat.
We had a ton of people. We all kind of knew each other. We had leaderboards that like we all cared about. There was an etiquette set up that the way the machine was set up, if you win, you didn't have to pay for the next race. So like it was kind of like how long can you stay winning?
Yep.
And everybody was really cool about like if you lost, you got up and went to the back of the line, and it was great. Like there's some really, really good times there. We all had some really good times. That's one of those like weird community things that I just maybe exist in other places, but I've never seen anything like it with an arcade machine quite the same way as that was. Man, we beat that thing up.
Well, to be fair, I guess that was kind of the end of the arcade era too.
Oh, for sure.
It wasn't long after that. That was the down the
that was definitely on the downswing. Like the two machines that were keeping that place open were Initial D and the DDR machine.
Oh, Dance was freaking nuts around a Marine Corps base. I don't know how. I think any Marine Corps base, if there was a DDR machine, some Marine was there.
It was the closet nerdy kids where the weed kids were dancing on the DDR machine. And they'd go in there and blow their entire fucking paycheck on DDR. Yep, good times.
Forgot about that.
Yep. And then the meats at 8-Ball Pizza.
Oh yeah.
Yep, 8-Ball Pizza was crazy. That was the car meets then were insane. I still got a ton of pictures of those. Cool. It was 300 plus cars a week.
Absolutely.
It was in the front of this Piggly Wiggly. And the pizza place was like right next door, and we would fill this Piggly Wiggly parking lot just jam packed with cars, and it was a crazy time.
It wasn't even ever like we got ran out of there. It's a pile of people.
Didn't even screw with us. We used to then we would set up races and stuff from there. Then we'd go way down to the end of what was it, Western.
Yep.
And then we go race on the end of Western
being built.
Yep, that was before any of the stuff. I guess it's all like packed with shit back there now, but
sure, it has to be now because it was getting built while we were there. It was
getting built while we were there, and there was nothing out there. Man, we had some wild times. Do you remember when you were with us? I know you were with us when this happened, but there used to be the line of like the really cool guys, okay? That was Rich with the Supra, and then Scuba with the Integra, and Chucky with the hatch, and like these were the really cool dudes, okay? And they show up in the parking lot, and I don't remember if it was like Chucky or Scuba or whatever, but they're on the phone, okay? And he's yelling at this dude. He's like, "Fuck that! Fuck that! We're gonna be there in like 20 fucking minutes. Fuck that!" And then he hangs up, and Chucky gets on the hood of his car, and he's like, "We're rolling!" And like nobody was ready for this. And then all of us jump into our cars, and we follow him all the way from Jacksonville, all the way down to Wilmington. And it's like a pile of 150 cars. None of us are stopping for streetlights. Nothing. Yep. And we are flying.
Yep.
So this was all caught on video. Okay. So we end up
on video. That's even better.
It's on video somewhere. I've seen the video, and I don't remember who actually recorded it or if it's still up. Okay. So we show up to this, I think it was a Ford dealer. Okay, it was some sort of dealership parking lot just as you're getting into the town of Wilmington, okay? And we all cram in here. We're there for like 2 minutes, barely enough time to park. And all I know is Scuba, who is this giant helo mechanic, is beating the shit out of this guy. I don't even know who the hell it is, but a whole fist fight breaks out. It's great. They break that up, and then I guess we're going to go race. And the spot is on the other side of Wilmington. Okay? So, first off, they send out, do you remember Cobra Commander?
I was just fixed to say, yeah. Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander. He ran around telling everybody he was a sergeant. Come to find out he was a Lance Corporal.
We didn't know that.
We didn't know it either. We just, when you meet somebody in town, you just have to assume. So like, we all kind of like, when you're hanging out outside of base, especially in the car community, like, I'm not saying rank basically goes away, but like, there's always that underlying, like, that dude's kind of been around, like, treat him with a little respect, kind of. And so he always got this, like, level of respect he really didn't deserve, even though he was a complete moron. And he had one of the first, like, 03, 04 Terminator Cobras in our area.
That was before we knew they were cool. It was, you know, back then it would have just been a Cobra. Years later, they were the cool car, Cobra to get.
This was a supercharged Cobra. This thing was pretty sick, right? And like, it was like, we all hated Mustangs, but we didn't hate that Mustang, you know?
No, yeah.
But him and like 5 other people they rolled out to go to the spot. As he's leaving, he loops the car in the middle of the intersection, which was so
in the middle of the main road in Wilmington.
The most main road through the city. But
then he got called Cobra Commander.
I think actually that's where we start calling him Cobra Commander.
That's actually where we started calling him that.
So they get to the bottom side of town, and I guess right when they call and they're like, okay, nobody's here, we're going to do this. Somebody hops up on their hood again, and they're like, all right, we're rolling. And now it's 150 of us and like 100 of them, all blasting through downtown Wilmington. Like, street lights, nothing. We don't give a shit about anything. It is like 100 fucking rice burner cars blowing through. I guess Scuba and this other guy were gonna race, okay? So we're all going to watch the race. And we get all the way through town, through the bridge on the other side of Wilmington where it turns into swamp and it's all flat on the other side. We're going out to some other Piggly Wiggly, okay? So I guess on the way, the cops showed up to break this whole thing up at where they were waiting for us. And they beat the shit out of Cobra Commander.
That's great. I don't remember that, but that sounds.
That's why we all stopped. Before we even got there, we ended up stopping early and then turned around and went back.
That's great.
So we ended up blowing back through town. Cops all over the place, but what are they going to do? Pull us all over? So we all just kept going, blowing red lights and everything. It was so stupid. And then, like, we got to the other side of town. Everybody's just looking at each other. Well, what do we do now? And we all just drove home.
Now what?
So
I guess we're going home.
Guess we're going home. I'm gonna go home.
Party's over, boys.
It was still like the craziest freaking 8-ball pizza situation thing we ever did. At this point,
8-ball was great.
You were driving you had a Firebird at that point.
No, Firebird. Yeah.
Yeah, you still had the Firebird, dude, and because T-tops and all that.
That car was great. Another one.
I don't remember if I had the WRX yet or if I was still in the Del Sol. I feel like I was in the Del Sol still.
Probably Del Sol.
Yep. The Del Sol was sick. Pretty close after that is when I bought that WRX, though.
Yeah, because it would have been after that because I went overseas. When I come back, you got a WRX.
Yeah, it was probably right in that area.
It was like
Yeah, the Del Sol was a good unit.
Del Sol's a great car.
Man,
that car didn't deserve to be as good as it was.
I had a 94 Del Sol VTEC I bought from this little old lady for like $3,000.
VTEC.
So it was
stole it from this old lady.
She had no idea what she had, but it was the OEM came with a B16A. Like, it was sick. And it was funny because every time I'd go to the meets and, you know, we'd be popping hoods and doing whatever, everybody's like, oh my God, who did the swap? It's so clean. And I'm like, it's stock. That's like how it came.
Stock, bro.
You're like, nobody like believed that it was the first car in the States we got with a B16. It was cool. I had a really good time with that car. That was where I started racing, you know, which for better or worse, like I paid my rent with that car a few times because I was poor and I decided to get married really young, and it had the practice wife thing, and then don't do that. I digress. We did a lot of crazy car shit at that point. You and I go way back. We were basically best friends at this point, and then I think it was your wife was like, you can't hang out with him anymore. So you and I had to start hanging out with Secret.
Yeah, she was always like that. It was so dumb.
It was pretty dumb.
I still don't get it. She still can't explain it.
This is not current wife. Current wife is not like this at all. She's great. This was ex-wife. Yeah, she was a psychopath.
Yeah, ex-wife. I don't know.
We both had practice wives.
Yeah, it's a practice wife. Do what you do.
I get out of the Marine Corps. A year later, more stupid stories from you and I'm turning this into reminiscing time, but I think it's great.
Yeah, whatever.
You got out a year after me. You came up and visited me in Michigan, and me, you, and my sister all decided to drive around Lake Huron. Because you'd never been to Canada.
I've never been to Michigan. You're like, hey, let's go up to Lake Michigan. And we go up there, and you're like, hey, there's this cool place, Mackinac Island. It's got a really great bridge. Let's go check it out. So we went over the bridge, and you're like, man, Canada's right there. And let's go check it out. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go to Canada. And then you're like, hey, I remember what it was. We got into Canada. We're going to eat and leave. And then I guess you're looking on your phone or whatever we had at the time. And you're like, hey, there's a ferry way up here. We'll just go to the ferry and go across the lake, and we'll be back in Michigan.
Yep. We'll take kind of a long way.
Yeah, but it was like halfway of going around all of the lakes or something like that. So it was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Then we get there, the ferry's closed, and we're like, well, I guess we could just keep going around the lake.
So we decided we're going to drive all the way around.
Yeah, so we basically drove around and touched all of the Great Lakes.
Yes.
In one go.
Yep.
One shot.
So on the way, we're going through Sudbury. We're in your diesel Jetta, and we get pulled over. Okay, we get pulled over, and and I'm talking Canadian red coat Mountie, like comes rolling up. He's
dude.
Oh my god!
Caught the tater, and he fucking knew it.
Oh, he was pissed. Either way, he's like, give me your illegal speed detection device or illegal radar detection device. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We had the radar detector, and they're illegal in Canada. So I'm like, oh, okay, my bad, here. And I handed it over to him, and then he hands me a summons to court. Like, he takes the device and then summons to court. Like, it wasn't take the device or come to court. Like it is in some states, it's you're going to court. Well, I got to be real. A, I'm poor. And B, this is literally the furthest part of our trip we're going to be. And I'm like, is there any way I could pay this fine or whatever? He's like, you got to come to court in like a week and a half. I'm like, that ain't happening. I may or may not have skipped court. Yep. And now I can't go to Canada. So I need to sort that out one of these days. But if anybody wants to understand the story of why I'm kicked out of Canada, that's why.
My fault.
But during this trip, we go to Niagara Falls, which was cool.
Which is cool.
We saw Lake Erie then.
Yeah. Yep.
But went to Niagara Falls because
Canada Niagara Falls.
We didn't realize it was Victorian Day or whatever, which is kind of like a 4th of July-ish thing.
Which was also cool.
It was super cool. We watched some badass fireworks over that, and then we drove from Niagara Falls through Detroit, and then coming back into the States, because this is post 9/11, that was brutal.
That was so dumb.
Oh my God. I'm surprised we didn't get cavity searches.
Yeah, so I didn't have an ID because just the day before, a couple days before, we were doing dumb crap in the Jetta with like trays from Walmart.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we got
I'm in the
dealt with a law in Muskegon.
It's like everybody took turns in this car. There's 4 guys in the car.
Yeah,
we're all having a good old time. As we go to leave, I turn around and there's a cop facing us, and so I'm the one that gets the ticket.
We were already done. So we had already ripped through all of our McDonald's trays.
We're leaving. It's over. It's done. And yeah, so he takes my ID so to make sure that I come deal with this,
Yeah.
you know. So I didn't have an ID except for my expired military ID that expired like the day before. uh, and then this she's like, I'm an officer. I'm like, I don't care. What does this even mean? I was so mad. We're tired. We're trying to get into America. They're being angry for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, we just none of us were having it. So yeah.
Yeah, they
could've
were
just
not. They
let us
gutted
back
the
in.
car, lost their shit. Neither of us had IDs. You were supposed to have like 3 forms of ID to get through. It was, oh my God, what a disaster.
Birth certificate. Yay. But going into Canada, great.
Oh, they were just like, hey, come on in, have a good time. We had like,
Yeah.
we were at that, trying to get in through Detroit, through the Windsor Tunnel for like 4 hours. Oh my God, dude, when we finally got home, I'd never wanted to sleep so much in my life. That was a brutal trip, but well, you
Great
ended
times.
up, you got out of the Corps, you went and did your thing, you moved back south, and you got one of the very first BRZs. I'd never even driven one when you first rolled in. When my dad was living down in Atlanta in that area, you ended up getting this BRZ. And dude, that thing is still, I hate the way it died, but that car had some, it's so good. It was so good.
It was so good. It was so good. And then you take what you learned and progress, and this new car is really good too.
So let's quickly talk about what happened with that first BRZ.
All right, go ahead. Tell your side.
I'll stick the story because I get it done real quick. You've done suspension and all sorts of shit on this, okay? And at this point, remember the FA20 is the only answer at this point, and these cars are still new-ish, okay? Not a lot of people have done a ton, and honestly, going to the track with your car wasn't as prevalent as it is now, okay? So we're at Gridlife 2017?
Nah, it wasn't that late, was it? Was it that late?
No, dude, maybe it's
it was
19.
whatever the first year of Road Atlanta Gridlife was, because it was the first year.
No, because you went and ran it one year and then you came back.
Yeah, so this was the second year.
Okay, because
or maybe the third year.
I'm thinking it's third year. I think it's 2019 because I had Boogie. Yeah, this was first year Boogie. Okay,
yeah,
so
it was the last year of Road Atlanta Gridlife.
I'm telling you, Kim, it's got to be 19. So either way, 19. Okay, so you want to set the BRZ NA record. Okay, the NA BRZ record.
NHPDE.
NHPDE. No, you were running time attack at this point.
Was I?
You had to have been.
Oh yeah, because I got the stickers on the car.
You got the stickers.
Time attack.
So you were in time attack. So it was me, you, and Brad all parked next to each other. All right, and I'm not working for IAG at this point, but we're parked right next to IAG.
Yep.
So
actually needed their help later.
So Bailey goes out on his outlap. He takes his outlap. He runs the NA BRZ record and goes straight off of turn 1 into the wall.
Yeah, basically.
That is exactly how this happened. I got a
bunch of excuses lined up, but sure, we'll just stick with that.
Like outlap, runs the record, and then goes in for a second lap and eats the wall, but ran the record. Which at that time was a pretty blasting time for what it was. The car had no aero. It was basically just tires and suspension.
43 or something like that. It was blazing fast.
For its time, it was cooking. It was moving around.
Yeah, I mean, everybody else that was running. Yeah, it was fast.
There were turbo cars that weren't running that time. So, then Brad literally, like, they pull you out of the wall. They go, black flag goes away, and they let them finish. Same session, hits the same wall just a little further up, wads his Focus RS up.
He hit it a little bit better than I hit it, though.
Yeah, you lawn darted it. He glanced and it did his car in. So he ends up trashing his car, and then like 2 sessions later, I end up blowing up. So all 3 of our cars were parked right next to each other, broken, like day 1 of this event.
Just out here to party.
Yep. But that's when was that your first time attack event? I think it was.
That would have had to have been the man.
It's not your first HPDE, but I think it's your first time attack. I think
it might have been the first time attack.
You were doing a bunch of autocross before then.
Oh, did they do Pikes Peak the year before? I went to all the Pikes Peak too. Pikes Peak might have been the first time attack session.
That might have been the first year of Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
So
something like that. No, yeah, because that car went to Pikes Peak a couple times.
Are you sure it wasn't the new one? I think it was the blue
new one. No, because the new one never went supercharged. I went up to Pikes Peak NA and then come back the next year. Went up to Pikes Peak NA. Should have won.
Yeah.
In street, but they let straight 5 twin turbo Audis in street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
and just destroyed everything. And then Dewey found a guy with a right-hand drive Subaru. Was like, hey man, you should be in street, and got that thrown out.
Do you know who that guy is? Do you know who that guy is? That's Adam Wood.
Yeah, I know. So
I may have dirtbagged my homie. So my bad.
Bag me.
So you end up finding this other shell to put basically the good parts that you had and guts into.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what exactly you found this thing cheap. I think was it a salvage title or something? What was the deal with it?
They were getting out of it, and then it was a salvage title car.
Yeah.
So they got out of it, and I picked it up for
a song,
$5 or $6 something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
the
not
thing
as cheap
that
as you can get them in the same state, but
is his original BRZ. Remember this, kids, because even though that is a cheaper car, he was smart enough to have track day insurance on it because he was still using that as a street car and wanted to keep it around. He had track day insurance on it. He ended up beating the wall, and he ended up getting a payout out of it. And you ended up having a fight with the insurance company and all sorts of stuff with it, but you got what it was worth back, and it allowed you to replace it with essentially the building blocks of what you have now.
Yeah, I rebuilt it.
Yeah.
Then that's what you get an insurance for. So if the worst happens, you can at least start over with
something,
what you have already. You know, that's what I did. I was able to go right back to where I stopped. So that worked out really well.
Yep. So, you originally you started with that. You were like, I'm gonna get into street mod. Okay, so you added a wing and a splitter, and you went to 255 200 treadwear, which you were already doing, but you pulled out only the stuff that you needed to pull out to keep the car reasonably light.
Yeah, and it was a street car at that time.
Well, and street mod, you didn't have a cage in it, so you had to leave your interior and all. There was a lot you had to leave in there, but you built it for street mod. You basically got a supercharged
because there wasn't a Club TR. Well, when I started that, there wasn't, and it didn't seem like I remember anybody talking about TR. I might have tried to do that, but as soon as we get to the first event, our Gridlife started that next season, Club TR exists. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm stuck with this for a couple years. I just dumped all this money into it.
So you built this thing, and like, let's be real. Like, one, you weren't going to be competitive in street because it was NA. Okay, Club TR didn't exist. And street mod, the reality of it is Jackie was just starting to really come into his own. Sean Krebsbach had like a 600 plus horsepower Evo. That Super K, all that drama with Super K happened during then. And then Boogie was just starting to figure its shit out too. So we were starting to come around with Boogie. And then here you are with like 350 horsepower, which the car was fun.
I mean, realistically, I went into it knowing I wasn't going to compete, but I wanted to do time attack.
Yep.
And, a 350 wheel BRZ was fun.
The car was a riot to drive
on the street. So it was a good time. And then I get to do time attack with it.
Then right, like middle of that first season, they start talking about Club TR is going to be a thing. So then you started making all these decisions. Should I hop out of street mod and go to Club TR? I was trying to talk you into it like crazy because I thought it just made a ton of sense. I don't remember. Did you run a full another season of Street Mod just for shits?
Yeah, well,
I think you
my
just
full
finished that
season's
first
only
season.
started recently, but I only would pick up 1 or 2 events a season back then. So
Yeah.
I did another. So I did 2 seasons with a supercharged car.
Yeah. And then you sold all of that and went to Club TR because the class just made sense for you.
It made more sense. That's that. I couldn't see spending the money I spent to do what I wanted to do with it, then just yank it all right back out to get in a TR. So I played with it for a couple years.
Yep.
And then did it.
So what's funny is the way the rules have worked with Club TR seem to just like morph as people just cared less. It was funny as shit. You show up to Gingerman and you go and look around, and I think it was Dana's car. And you're like, dude, there's nothing in here. And long story short, the way people are reading the rules is it's just like, well, minimum weight. Do what you got to do to get to minimum weight. And so you were like, fuck this, and just started ripping everything out of your car at Gingerman.
I'm all for it. Yeah, I've never protested anybody.
No.
And I never will. But I will make my car what your car is.
Yes.
And that's what I did. So I was like, well, if they don't care about the rules, I'm in. And yeah, I did the same thing. And there's only so much you can take out at a track side. But I'd come in from a session, yank as much crap as I could until the next session.
I bet you
session be 3 seconds quicker, and I just kept doing that.
You did percentage-wise more for weight loss that weekend at Gingerman than anything that you have done so far. Like percentage-wise,
all the big stuff come out.
All of the big low-hanging fruit came out.
Yeah. Oh, the only big thing I couldn't get out right out of the gate was the AC. I went home and did that like that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
like Evan said, the rules were written pretty poorly at that point, and I agree. Like they were not written well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely agree. And it was disheartening.
Yeah.
I guess to say the least, because I come in going, yeah, I'm pretty prepped. There was suspension stuff that could be better, but as far as the gut in the car and being ready for it, I thought I come in there thinking, yeah, I'm pretty set. And then I go look at all the other TR cars and door cards are out and there's not a passenger seat. And I'm like, what? That's not how the rules read. It's like, I can play this game too. It
was stuff was written a little odd. But either way, like I think that was the beginning. Like Dana was really the kind of the prototype for what Club TR was going to be. But like, that was the beginning when you started ripping your shit out. Everybody started ripping their shit out. And then they're like, okay, this is what this class is going to be. And
got it. And I think they eventually made the rule change to make that make sense.
Yeah.
And I forget how the rules read now, but I think since it's a minimum weight class, you can take everything out.
There was a whole giant argument that year about splitters too. Because there is like where you measure a splitter.
I remember that because
splitter
it's
game
always been well within legal, but I remember everybody getting kind of ruled and having to change splitters that one of those sessions.
Yeah. I really like what the class has turned into. I think they got the rules really sorted, especially for the cars that are competing in it. The class grew quite a bit. I think I don't want to call it an entry level class because you can't be just some schmuck and show up and think you're going to win this thing by any means. These cars are prepped really, really well, but you don't have to spend a freakish amount of money. Like it's not really like what Street Mod has turned into. Street Mod is nuts.
Yeah, the ceiling's really low.
Yeah,
which is great.
Yep.
Yeah. No, ceiling's low, and that's what I love
the sandbox
about it.
isn't freakishly big. Yep.
Yeah, that makes the competition turn into drivers. Drivers have to beat the race, and that's what you see with the top 3 spots or the top 5 spots or top 10 spots being within a second, half a second, half of a half a second, and that's what I want. I want that kind of competition.
And that's what it's turned into. Like it took a little bit of sharpening of the rules to figure it out, but it's turned into one of the most, if not the most competitive class in time attack in North America, maybe even the world. Like it is crazy competitive. Like I've got
competitions. What's up?
I love me some street mod. But like I gotta be real. I think Club TR might be the hardest class to win. It's one of the easiest ones to get competitive in, but it's going to be one of the hardest to win, which is cool. I think it's fantastic. So you end up gutting the car. You're still on the FA20, and the reality of it is these K-swapped cars, they have 30, 40 horsepower on you, and there's just, it ain't happening. I think you might have eked out like a fourth or maybe sniffed a podium once, but you weren't getting anywhere close. It wasn't.
I got a third and a first in there, and I got a handful of trophies, but it's always been about the stigma to whatever trophy I got has always been one of those, well, you only got it because so and so was broke.
Yeah, or somebody didn't show up.
Like, you like winning, but at the same time, the winning I want to do is with everybody running, and I want to actually win and not just say I won.
Yeah.
And that's what Road Atlanta was. That was proper competition. Everybody that needed to be running was running.
Nobody could say that you didn't earn it at Road Atlanta.
Nope.
So, you had this FA24, you weren't in the mix, or sorry, you had the FA20, you were in the mix. Long story short, you were bouncing between doing a K-swap, which is what everybody else was doing. And I'm going to toot my own horn here. I was screaming up and down, go FA24. Now, I've got a few different reasons for that. And one of the big reasons for it is the results that I'd seen of other people, just with basic bolt-ons in E85 making really good power. But I wanted to keep you in the Subaru camp because I just absolutely hate K-swaps. So I'm happy I managed to talk you out of it.
It didn't take much.
It took a little bit. There were some arguments there.
I like the K was a thing, and it still could be, but like it's I don't know. It's not a Subaru, and I want to put a Subaru in a Subaru or a Honda in a Honda. I by all means, anybody can swap anything they want to. I just like, I don't know. Maybe I like doing things the hard way.
Purity. Oh, you definitely like doing shit the hard way. That is just a absolute like core philosophy of you. So either way, you end up doing the FA24 swap, and you're the only person that I've known who's like kind of done this swap both ways. So originally when you swapped it, you used the stock ECU, and you were one of the first, I wouldn't say you're one of the first, but you were in the first batch of people who were doing these, where you were using the stock ECU, but bringing a bunch of stuff over from each of the platforms to make it work. So you were running on the FA20 ECU, but you had to bring over what, triggers and all sorts of shit. Do you remember the list of stuff you had to bring over?
So all of the sensors work. It's the engine harness from whatever your car. There's a facelift car.
Yeah. Like
the 2017 or something, and that got a different engine harness too. So those pre facelift, and second gen. So the pre facelift cars, if you have to bring your engine harness with you to the new engine, and pretty much every sensor works. Like the oil temp and coolant temp doesn't directly wire in, but you can splice that, no big deal. The big one is fuel pressure in crank position.
Yep.
And the crank position reluctor wheel, the timing plates are different on the crank, and the timing plates are different on the cams. And you don't just put the first gen cams in the second gen car. You have to, RS Motors has a kit for his cam plates that are just a little like micrometerly different, whatever that word was, than the FA20 cam plates.
Yeah.
And so I used his cam plates and his reluctor wheel and a couple sensors from them.
So
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and that thing fired up, and Graham tuned it on EcuTech, and you ripped on that for a little while.
Yeah.
And it worked. And they're like, this is a valid option for people. Okay. So like people have done this and it works. And especially if it's in a situation where if you're doing this in a streetcar and maybe you got to pass emissions or something, you know, this like they do an OBD2 check. You can get this to work. It'd be the same as if you tuned an FA20. So it's basically just a big displacement FA20. So that did the job. But I think one of the best things you did, and then you learned from this, the plug and play link ECU was just, you ended up going to a plug and play link ECU because of some of the stuff you could do later and CAN and all of that. Link got involved in that a little bit. And that, if you would have done this swap again, would you have just went straight to the link? Knowing what you know now.
It's hard to say. Knowing what I know now, if I could give somebody advice, let's say go to a link because it's easier.
Yeah.
But we didn't know any of that. One of the things that we didn't know is how the fuel pump, high pressure fuel pump works, between the differences in how the high pressure fuel pump works between the two cars.
Yeah.
So the stock ECU, every once in a while, I'd get a low pressure, high pressure fault and the car would just die. Every once in a while, and I couldn't recreate it. It would just happen sometimes. And it was racetrack stuff. I wouldn't be going to the grocery store and it happened. So it was like, all right, whatever. And I figured out I need to key off, key on, and keep on keeping on. So it was an annoyance, but I didn't know what it was. And then digging around, we found out that the cams are 3-lobe versus 4-lobe between the cars. So every once in a while, the timing was just off enough that the stock ECU just couldn't deal with it and just said, no, I'm done. And going to Link made it to where I could solve that. I didn't have to deal with that.
Yep.
Anymore.
Plus, you also have like native flex fuel, which is pretty cool. And you also have CAN out, so you can run a dash versus having to run the OEM dash. But again, if you're trying to do a street car, there's an argument to be made to go the other direction. But if you're doing a race car, I cannot in my right mind see any reason whatsoever why you would run the stock ECU unless there's some rule that states you have to keep it.
Yeah, so with the link, you can go in there and you can tell it what your cams are, and you can tell it what your reluctor wheel is. You can tell it everything. So you just plug the harness in. You still have to figure out, because the crank position sensor is going to be different between the 2 years. I think the 17 Plus use the same crank position sensor or high pressure fuel sensor, but those two sensors you'll still have to figure out. And those have been figured out and they're sold. By the guy I mentioned earlier, RS Motors, Motors, and what the other guy's website is, I can't think of on my top of my head, but he makes harness adapters, so you don't even got to think about that.
Makes life easy though. If you go through the RS Motors, and didn't you deal with ASM also, Andy? Was he selling stuff? Or
when I got the link, Graham pointed me at ASM to get the link. I think I had to go through them to get the link.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people sell those.
At that time they didn't. Now Graham is a seller of them. Subi Mod sells them. Like there's a bunch of different places to get Link from. So Link's easy now, but when you did it, it wasn't. Link's actually super simple now. So it
might not even have existed when I started doing the swap. So
you had one of the very first plug and play Links in the country. Yeah. And again, a lot of people didn't even understand why they would want to do this. And it's now it's become super common. Expensive. It's not.
It's like $1,500 or something like that, right? I don't know. I don't sell
too. But it's worth every penny.
Everything's gone up.
Yeah. It's worth every penny.
You look at what it costs for a K-swap versus what it costs to stay FA24, if all you want to do is buy an engine and install it, you can do that. Don't buy an ECU. Yep. Buy an engine, spend $1,000 with all the other little extra tiddly bits that you got to find to get the engine to work, and you're in.
Yep.
Or buy an engine and buy a link for a little bit more, and then you're in again. So I mean,
The engines
Either
have
way is a
came
good
down
answer.
quite a bit too. Like when you first picked the engines up, dude,
Like
you
$5
couldn't
grand.
find one.
$6,000.
Yeah, there was $6,000 all over the place. That's all you could find. Now you can get one for like
that was like-
3,500. Three.
Yeah, like first or second year of the second gens. So yeah, you didn't find a lot of engines. They were there. They were proud of them.
So Corey's asking about the built-in DI drivers. So the first gens have a separate DI driver. So the Link ECU is working with that, with the OEM direct injection. Now the second gen ECU, the DI driver is built into it, and that makes that a little bit more difficult. That's why there's not a second gen Link out yet, as far as I know, or it was causing difficulties with that.
Yeah, but I mean, why would you swap an FA24 and it's already there?
Yeah.
You have a second gen, you're already there.
I agree.
What are you doing?
But I mean, there's a lot of I love me some standalone. It's if you can go to a standalone, there's just some especially for a track
you can do with it.
A lot of cool shit you can do with it, and if you can stand alone, I'm always going to recommend standalone. I've screamed this forever. So that was one part of this. You made some more jam, but the car essentially was fairly gutted. Okay. Then you did the FA24 swap and you were getting into the mix of being competitive with this. And like you said, you eked out like you'd get a third here or whatever. And then you did get a win, but everybody's like, well, nobody was there or this guy broke or whatever.
That's right.
You finally were like in the general scheme of things.
Yeah, it was mid-pack, middle
upper
of the top
mid-pack,
10,
I think is a good way.
13 or something, just above the mid-pack. I was lower mid-pack now.
Yeah. So, first off, they changed some stuff. The year before, you realized that you got to get this car to minimum weight. And at that point, minimum weight was all the same.
Yep.
And you decided you went really hard going after minimum weight. You got a carbon seat. You started pulling everything out you possibly could. I think you got real close to min weight, but didn't quite make it.
No, I was there. I was actually running ballast times because I was under it. Yeah. I'd go from being fat to skinny, I guess, and then that'd be ballast to no ballast. But yeah, I was at min weight.
So how many Dr. Peppers you had as if it was getting ballasted?
Yeah.
So this year, because it has been kind of a K-dominated class, they allowed non-K swapped cars another 150 pounds lighter they could get, and you went after that hard. I feel like every week you would post some picture of some thing in some area of the car you either replaced or you also ended up doing drop knuckles, which I think not only saved you weight, but dramatically improved the geometry.
Yeah, that was a chunk of weight, a proper solid chunk of weight.
Yeah.
I think that was 50 pounds.
That's huge.
Just changes the suspension all out.
Yep. You also went to Race Comp Engineering coilovers. So you've been working with Miles on that. Dude, where is some of the other weight coming from? I do know that they, due to some controversy on saying that you couldn't run they basically explicitly said you couldn't run a carbon dash, and then allowed a guy in California to run a carbon dash, and then kind of like made that go away. It just said you had to run a dash. You made a dashboard.
I did make a dashboard.
Yep.
Yeah.
By definition, that is a dashboard.
No, it's dashboard. They so the rule used to say OEM dash and OEM location.
Yes.
And I specifically asked, does it have to be an OEM dash or an OEM shaped dash? Because I could put a carbon dash in this and save a ton of weight. And they're like, no, OEM dash. I had this conversation face to face with Adam at PRI. And like that year, somebody's running a carbon dash. I'm like, bro, you said no.
What do we do?
So I went through the channels. I emailed Gridlife at gridlife.com and asked for rules clarifications. Like, I'm not mad about the dash. I'm just mad that you told me flat out no.
Yeah.
And then it happened. So let's get some rules changed. Let's make it to where, the dude across the street that's watching this race builds a car and comes out here and doesn't and doesn't realize that what's in the rule book and what we're doing are two different things.
Yes.
So they didn't make a clarification. They changed it from OEM dash and OEM location to just a dash in the OEM location. So I made a dash. I fully expected it to come back and be like, all right, carbon dashes are fine. Well, it turned into just some kind of dash is acceptable. So, and I could have got real dumb with this, but I didn't. I stuck with a chunk of ABS that's kind of the shape of a dash in the dash spot. But I could have used like
It's
silk with
basically just
Elmer's
a
glue
flat
on it.
piece,
Yeah.
like over the dash bar that like,
Yeah.
I mean, it weighs basically nothing, but it's a dashboard. You could put stuff on it. Like,
Yeah.
I think,
So-
I still think you should put a little hula dancer on it.
Yeah, there might be one coming.
Yeah. So either way, you removed every non-essential item in that car.
Oh man.
It is light. Honestly,
What?
you should have a cage in it. I'm gonna keep saying it, but like I can also understand the flip side of this. Like I think there needs to be I would like to see the rules amended to whatever the car a reasonable weight basic cage. You know what I mean? And then the minimum weight be moved to that personally. But I don't know. That's going to be tough because like once you open Pandora's box in Time Attack, you can't close it because then like you're never going to get to the records again. If you start, all the cars immediately just add 200 pounds, you know what I mean? So, but it's light. You did a lot of development. What other stuff did you do in the off season? You did some carbon stuff.
Yeah, I met a guy at one of the racetracks. He said he wanted to build some carbon stuff. So he built me some carbon stuff. It took a while, but we finally got it. And so we got carbon fenders and a carbon trunk that weighed nearly nothing.
They're light.
I think he might be working on the hood right now.
Okay.
So I think I can do hood, fenders, and trunk, and that's what's legal in TR right now.
Yep.
Hood's not a chunk of weight, but that'll be, I don't know, 10 pounds. I'll probably lose off the hood. They're aluminum hoods in these cars. They don't weigh a ton.
You had a carbon drive shaft in there, and we're not going to mention companies or whatever, but you
mention companies all you want to. I don't remember what the first company was.
I remember what it was.
What was it?
It was, well, let me put it this way. It wasn't Drive Shaft Shop. It was another brand.
No, but it's not like they're any better. Yeah, maybe you haven't. Great, you haven't had any problems with it.
No, I haven't.
I'm happy for you, but you can get on the internet and find all kinds of people going, man, this thing vibrates like crazy, and everybody tell them, why don't you go to sand this and turn that and do this? Look, man, it doesn't work. This drive shaft's just crazy out of balance. So first one failed. I stole one out of your car at CMP, and I think is that the year that I come in first at CMP with your drive shaft?
With my drive shaft.
Yeah, and then
so the way it failed was really goofy too, because it isn't like the drive shaft snapped, and it isn't like you make a ton of power, but it's like it's like it was just like glued. They used some sort of epoxy or something to glue it to the yoke.
Well,
it
that's
just
how they
broke
do that.
there, so it's just spinning on the inside of it.
Yeah, it's carbon drive shafts with aluminum yokes. It's not like it's all one piece. So the aluminum yokes are just glued in, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, and that come apart. So it never fell out of the car. I just hit the gas and nothing happened. Not going nowhere. It was funny because it was the first session at CMP, pulled out onto the track, drive shaft let go, and I coasted right at the end of the pit, right back into the.
Yeah,
everybody's looking at me like,
CMP is a little odd that the grid actually releases kind of onto the track before hot pit. Okay, so like you went out, your drive shaft did what it did, and you just kind of coasted right into hot pit.
Yep. And then had to get towed back to my spot.
Yep.
And then yanked yours and made it out for the second session, no problem, whatever. And that was that. But then I come home, I'm like, oh well, I guess I'll get the drive shaft. And that thing got it. It's light. Throw it in the car. I'm fine till about 110. And it's just like, it's going to vibrate and everything's going to fall off the car. Like, this is the worst vibration ever.
That's crazy.
Pull it off, sand the things, turn it. put it on. Maybe it's a little bit better. I do that a few times. It never goes away. And then we go to CMP this year, and it vibrated so bad that there was about a half to a quarter inch of clearance between the drive shaft and a nut that was welded on, like something was bolted to it from the factory. It hit it and just, I don't know, scraped it up in one little spot. Just, it was vibrating enough to deflect it that quarter inch.
That's wild.
It's like, this is crazy. So then I went, I had the steel drive shaft because, I learned from my mistakes, and I'm not coming to a track without 2 drive shafts again. And so I stuck the old OEM one back in there and gained that 20 pounds back. And I guess I'll just live with that.
It works. I mean,
hey, it
what's
works.
crazy is like,
what are you missing?
I don't know what's going on with the situation with that. Cause I've ran, like my drive shaft is ancient. It was original boogie stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Even then it was, I think it was used even when I got it. We 173 at the end of the straight of Road America or Road Atlanta, and it's fine.
Up left and right, drive shaft still just chucking along.
Yep. You lit it on fire a few times, whatever. You put 200 horsepower to it, thing falls apart. So I don't know.
Yeah, my 200 horsepower is just too much for these drive shafts, man. I don't know what to tell you.
So
torque.
If somebody were to look at your build and want to get into Club TR, like, what are the big things you think they should focus on? We know the swap, okay? Like, as far as like, because you've removed a ton of weight, an absolute ton of weight. What are some of the modifications you think made outside of the swap have made some of the biggest difference?
Oh man, it's to give that advice to somebody coming into TR is going to sound like it's the most expensive thing in the world. The Wives Fab suspension was huge.
Yeah.
Let's see. Link was great, but I don't think that was like a huge step, like a life-altering step.
Yeah. Especially considering you already had the swap done.
But it made things. It made some more stuff that you want to do kind of easy.
Yeah.
Good suspension matters. Good suspension matters.
Yep.
That's probably one of the bigger ones. Good suspension really matters. Like your, $500 whatever.
Yeah,
I don't want to say names.
Whatever speeding rods or whatever.
It's probably not going to do it. Alignment's important. Not horribly important, but kind of important. I wouldn't even worry about corner balance and just get it all kind of the same and then do an alignment, but like a good alignment. I like Firestone, but like a good alignment.
Yeah, take it to a shot.
But even then, if you man, it's been like this has taken me so long to get to this point. Like I can't say there's any like one thing that's just been it.
That because in your off season,
I'm slow at this.
In your off season, you did a lot. So and to the point where how do you know like what it isn't like you did a thing, went and tested it. You did a ton of shit at one time.
Yeah. So the goal is get the car to minimum weight.
Yep.
And go drive it. So how do you get there? Just take everything out. And then once you've decided you've taken everything out, stop and look at the car and realize you didn't take everything out. Like I gutted. So it's keyless entry.
Yeah.
How does keyless entry work? There's a little motor in there turning a gear to unlock your doors. Did you take that out? You don't need it anymore. Now I was sitting there, I don't know. Sometimes I'll sit by the car with a beer or something, or I'll just sitting there looking at the car. I'm like, hey, let me look at this. And I pulled it out, and both of those little things was worth like half a pound, both doors. I'm like, this is stupid. So
half a pound like matters.
That. It's a little, it does.
Half a pound adds up.
So don't let that get in your head. Well, that's only like, a pound. That's only like whatever. Yeah, but like you do that 100 times, you're at min weight.
Yep.
And it's every little thing. There are body plugs in this thing that are made out of foam that don't do anything but stop letting air out. Pull those out, put a little piece of tape over it. That's lighter.
Yep.
There's stuff like that.
And again, this stuff doesn't seem like it matters. Road Atlanta was separated by a half of a tenth, less than half of a tenth of a second. The top three, half of a tenth of a second. You can't even snap your fingers that fast. Like it is insane how close that was. So the little things
and it could have been like,
matter.
Yeah, it could have been anybody's game. Like there's three of us with half a tenth of a second. I mean, I don't know. Somebody hit a pebble at just the wrong time and lost that tenth, you know?
If you wouldn't have removed those little freaking door motors, like that would have been just that little bit of acceleration you didn't have. That's what a half of a tenth is.
It was a whole bunch of little things like that. Like the airbags all have brackets that are in there. All of the airbags are bolted and there's a bracket welded with a nut. I mean, all these little things that have to come out that don't do anything for this car at all. And we're not running passenger seats, so I don't need a passenger seat belt. I don't need the things that held the passenger seat belt in place. Trunk's
structural. What's really funny is when you have to have a conversation with Gridlife themselves to define structural.
What a weird path to go down, because who knows what the inside of every one of these cars looks like, and how do you judge that?
Yep, it's tough.
How do you keep that in check?
Yep.
So I mean, structural safety, at what point does that even, like I said the same thing, or what I said to them was, if we're being honest, taking any of the plastic out of the car is a safety. You're taking safety stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Any door cards, the little thing, the visors, like all of that was in the crash test and made right for safety, and we've just yanked it all out. We don't know why it was there. We don't know why it was the shape it was. We're just yanking crap out that was bolted down. So it's a weird path, I think, to fall down. I did put those pieces back in with a cute little saying on them, just being a smart ass, because it's only like a pound. So
structural.
I can get that pound somewhere else and and weigh it. So what do I care?
That's still
we'll fight that fight later. There was an argument to be made that could have been structural to the point of safety, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to argue this anymore. I'll just shove them back in. Like I said, the other cars, the broke car is still here. I don't remember where the orange ones are from the orange car that I'm driving now, but the white car, it had ones, and they're in there all pretty and white. They match that orange real good.
Whatever, does the job.
Yeah, I don't care.
So one thing that I like, I tend to find when I'm talking to people and they're really, really new at looking at going on the track, they start looking at time attack cars and think that's what they have to go to the track.
Nah, man.
I mean,
I say that to everybody. It's like all you need to go to the track is whatever car you got right now. You don't need tires. You don't need brakes. Get on the track, man.
You don't even
spend no money.
A lot of, like, you go to like one of those SCCA Track Night in America things.
Yeah.
Half the time they have rental helmets there. You don't even need a helmet. You just got to show up.
Know really quick if this is for you or this ain't for you, because you'll get bit or you won't, and it'll be in your DNA or it won't.
Yep.
And you go out there and you just spend a bunch of money on a car, getting it to the point that you just think you needed to get it to, and you find out this ain't for me. Well, you just wasted a bunch of money, because you're never getting that back.
Nope.
So you don't need anything. You're clapped out Toyota, Pinto, hybrid, bull, whatever. Just run it, man. Go out there. The coolest cars to me have always been the cars that don't look like they're supposed to be there.
Yes.
I love seeing somebody pull in with like the 2002 Accord, and you're like, what? This is great.
Yep.
I love that.
One of the things I always loved, we used to have this thing called Super Speed Expo up in the Chicago area, and we'd always have like people show up with automatic Foresters and Bajas and like shit that you would not normally see on track. And these are like total street trim setups, like stock tires, mostly stock brakes. Like these are very, very stock cars, and just out there driving around on a road that doesn't have a speed limit. And it's really cool. Those are some of my favorite things to see for sure.
Yeah.
So
So just run what you brung, man. Get it out here. Step one's get to the track. Step two is figure out what you want to do after that.
yep, because
There's a lot of things that
you're
you
either
can
gonna
do
love it or
to
not.
make it better without spending a lot of money. A lot of people will buy AutoZone pads and just buy a new set. I think you can get. I think there's some AutoZone pad that comes with a lifetime warranty, and you just go swap them out like every couple.
I'm
of
not
events or
telling
something.
you
I think
you
it's
should
great.
do this, but I had a buddy who had an '08 WRX who used to go hit up Autobahn Country Club all the time. And that track's kind of notoriously evil on brakes. And the WRX is the '08 WRX specifically, the brakes are pretty undersized for the weight of the car. And he used to just eat rotors. Absolutely destroy rotors. But he had the lifetime warranty AutoZone rotors. Dude, he just kept walking in there and swapping them out.
And they don't care. You tell them what you're doing. They're like, whatever.
They
Here's
don't.
another set.
Just walk in. They'll hand you some new ones.
Yeah.
They don't.
They
They
don't care.
really do not give a shit. He would have got more performance out of the car with a set of like Brembos or whatever, but
Sure.
he was having a great time, and that's really what mattered more than anything. Is he was having a great time.
Yeah, you got to have fun.
Yep.
Like you're going to know real quick if this is fun or if this ain't. And if it ain't, you didn't waste any
That's
money.
okay.
You just got some miles on your tires.
And
Good.
it's even okay if
You
it
did.
ain't fun for you. If this ain't your thing,
Yeah.
that's totally fine. You know,
But
I
you'll
tell
know.
people to go.
You'll know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Life-altering changes will be happening if it is the thing. Then
Yeah.
you're going to be like, why did I just spend that on this? What in the world am I thinking?
and it will consume you.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you want to purchase after you decide you're going to do this is a truck and a trailer. It is.
Track insurance.
And track
Uh,
insurance.
Okay. So, all right. So get your track night in America, buy track insurance, go have fun.
Yep.
You're going to be like, man, track insurance is more than track night. Yeah. Until you wreck the car.
And then it's,
I'll argue
dirt
for
cheap.
track insurance. I will argue for track insurance from now to the end of time. Like it saved me. Well, if I would have wrecked the car and not had track insurance, that'd have just been that. I'd have just been like, well, I guess I can't do this anymore. That was fun. So track insurance made it to where I could stay doing this.
Yep. So, yeah, you wouldn't. I was wondering if you were going to bow out after that happened, and that is not what happened. You came back with a complete freaking vengeance. So,
To be fair, it took a while for me to get over the wreck.
yeah.
That stuck with me for. I mean, it's still with me a little bit. I don't know. Car, something broke in the back of the car and sent me into the wall backwards. Is what happened. And I don't want to talk about what it was, but something broke.
Yep.
This is the throwing the people under the bus. I think is an honest thing that could break into anybody, and it's no parts to blame, fault, just things that wear.
Yep.
So
this is why you need to check your shit.
yeah, check. Yeah.
Put
Get back to the
a
racetrack,
wrench
and wiggle
on
everything.
a nut all over the place before your event and after your event.
Yeah. I got this. We started using this stuff at work. It's torque seal. I don't know if most people have heard of this stuff. It's it comes in a little tube, kind of like a quarter the size of a tube of toothpaste. And you squeeze this particular kind we get is bright orange, kind of like putty comes out of it.
Yeah.
And you lay it across your bolt or your nut, the thing that you don't want to turn, that you've torqued and it's right, and you mark it with this stuff. And if it moves at all, this stuff breaks. It cures up and dries and it's hard. And if it moves at all, it breaks. So your checks turn into, I don't need to take a torque wrench to everything. I can just look at everything and see if this thing is broke. And if it has, I need to retighten it.
Yeah.
And it's torque seal's pretty cool.
Well,
I think you can pick it up at Tractor Supply if you're trying to figure that out.
There you go. Tractor Supply.
Torque seal at Tractor Supply.
I don't know why, dude. You should talk to them about a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah,
out here doing
this
God's work for you. So, all right, man. I'm hyped we had you on here. You're gonna be at all the Gridlife events for the rest of the season, right? You're probably in the same kind of boat we are. Like, Laguna's probably a 50-50.
Man, Club TR is Club TR, man. Laguna's if I need to.
Yeah.
I've got the ticket.
We started the season out saying 90% chance we aren't going, and we're down to a 60% chance we aren't going, and it keeps falling. So I got a feeling we're going to end up there the way things are going. So I'm going to now put it at a 40% chance we're not going.
Yeah, I'm still rationing my time off in a way that makes me miserable every event.
Yeah.
So I will have enough time off to go to this if I have to.
Brutal. So
yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to see you. I won't see you at Wicked Big Meat, but next week, did you get the test day or not?
No test day.
All
time
right.
off.
Well,
I need more time off.
I'll see you Thursday night then. And
yeah, save me a spot.
Yep, that's the plan. We'll be, if you are coming into Midwest, anybody who's listening to this, if you're coming into Midwest and want to know, we're going to be at Gingerman right over by the competitors gate. We'll be right over there at the corner by the competitors gate. We kind of take that little back cul-de-sac. We're going to get that whole thing. Yeah, we're getting that again. I'm happy everybody finally came to terms with that's where we need to be, because there was this giant push of let's try to be up near the track, and it's just noisy and a ton of traffic, and it we're old. I want to be in the back.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah. So, if anybody were to try to look up your social media or anything like that, where's the best place to go?
I pretty much post everything to Instagram, and then Instagram pushes it to Facebook, and it's KHunter86. There's dots and dashes in there, but I think you can Google KHunter86.
I'm pretty sure if you just type in KHunter86, it comes up.
Yeah.
So
KHunter.
Yep.
KHunter, like out here hunting them K's.
Yes. And I mean, if anybody needs proof that it can be done with a Subaru engine and done well, you're out here proving it. So stay at it, man. I'll see you next week. We'll have a good time, and
yeah, I'll be there.
Hopefully we can get you there, because Gingerman's gonna be rowdy. So everybody comes on full kill. So I'm hyped.
Yeah, it's a fight every year.
Every year. So all right, it's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun, and we will see you guys next time.